Alright, so I'm on day 4 of the 75 hard, and today I'm just going to go for a walk outside here. I'm going to go to Humber Bay. And basically, you just need to walk for 45 minutes. I make it a brisk walk, or sometimes I think I'll just do some body weight exercises, so some body squats or like lunges and stuff like that. But today I'm just gonna make it a brisk walk. Head down to Humber Bay. I figured I might as well just film this because if you know, I've been saying that this year is when I'm going all in on YouTube. All in. I figured I might as well just show off some neighborhoods. So I live at one of the condo buildings right there at the Queensway in Windermere. This is another brand new one they just put up. This right here is Lakeshore. So I'm walking south on Windermere right now. It's getting chilly. It's definitely in the negatives. One little thing is never speed on this part of Lakeshore here because you will get pulled over. I'm telling you that because I see people being pulled over all the time, and I've been pulled over myself. So there you go. That's the on-ramp to the Gardner Expressway West. That way is east towards the downtown core. And there you go. Oh, look at that guy getting pulled over. That's crazy. In the summer, this whole area is really busy. But right now, it's a little bit too cold for most normal people to be walking. But because I'm doing this challenge, I have to get those steps in outside. And yeah, just for anybody that has never done or has never heard of 75 hard, it's basically a challenge where for 75 days you do a number of things. So number one, let me just flip the camera actually, there. So you do a number of things for 75 days straight. So number one, you have to get 2 workouts in per day. One of them has to be outside. They both have to be 45 minutes long. I'm gonna walk this way for a second just to show you the skyline. Number 2, you have to stick with a strict diet. So it just has to be like a good, clean diet. You have to stay consistent with it. And then number 3, you have to drink 3.8 liters of water, which is 1 gallon of water per day, which is a lot of water. You have to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book per day. And then I said the workouts. What else? I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. And yeah, you just have to be consistent. Oh, no alcohol. Absolutely no alcohol for 75 days. All those things put together are a little bit difficult for 75 days straight, especially when all your friends are partying all the time. So I'm going to be the only one not partying. So, okay, we're on Lakeshore right now. This is the little beach here. Let me flip the camera. So there you go. That's the skyline there. Very nice. It's a little bit misty and gloomy. It was snowing a little bit earlier. So it is actually freezing cold by the lake right now. That is Humber Bay. That's the Humber Bay Bridge. I'll walk over there in a second. Humber Bay Shores are down there. This is technically still considered High Park Swansea because High Park is just like down there. You know what? Probably tomorrow I'll do a walk down to High Park and film it as well. And then yeah, you have this nice little skyline view. Not sure how well you can see with this camera, but it's right there. You know, a lot of people set off fireworks right here all the time. It's wild. Like literally for New Year's there were fireworks going off until like 7 in the morning here. It's pretty crazy. But it's so funny because this is the first time I'm actually doing a challenge like this. and staying consistent with it, because I feel like a lot of people start stuff and don't finish it, including myself. So this time I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna stay consistent for 75 days and see what happens, see how I feel. So let's go, Humber Bay Shores. So it's another gloomy day here in Toronto. Yesterday we had sun for the first time in like 11 days, believe it or not. So we haven't been getting much sun. My hands are freezing. I don't know why I didn't put on gloves earlier. Maybe there's like a person sitting there. What's going on? What is going on? I always wonder how the ducks and the geese and stuff don't freeze in that water. They're just chilling. I bet you somebody has a good answer for that. But this is a big reason as to why I like living right there. So like, that's my building right there. Because you have access to all of these nice little trails, little walking trails. You're right beside the water. Yeah, it's not clean water. I know it's not clean water, but it's still a body of water. And a lot of research has actually pointed to people being significantly happier when they live beside bodies of water. So there you go. So I appreciate the fact that there's a body of water right there. Lake Ontario, for everybody who's not from Toronto. I always feel weird filming these things when I'm alone, because as I walk by people, they get all confused and stuff, you know? Like, why are you filming me, you know?
Who ended up with the board?
And then I get all awkward and like point the camera away from them, like I just did there. And then I'm actually surprised there's nobody biking or rollerblading or running on this path, because usually it's pretty busy. And you know, like I said, like in the summer, if it's a nice day in the summer, this path will be completely jammed with people. We have a runner. And a lot of people come here and just like have picnics by the water and just hang out. So it gets really lively. When we came to Canada, in 1997, the only two buildings that were around here were these two buildings here. So right around like this Queensway and Windermere, Lakeshore, Windermere area, those were the two only buildings. The shared path. So we could go under here or down here. I'd like to go up top just to show you the view from the bridge. There's a guy I follow. He does these like walking tours around Toronto. His name is Johnny Strides. Shout out to Johnny Strides. He does these like every day. He literally does walking tours around the city in different neighborhoods every day, and it's so relaxing to watch, and it's like just peaceful watching him walk around the city. So yeah, if you haven't checked out his page, it's Johnny Strides on YouTube, and I think on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. I'm happy I'm doing this challenge. I'm like out of breath walking and talking, which definitely shouldn't be the case. But we're pulling up on the Humber Bay Bridge here. And yeah, so these two buildings, like I mentioned, they were literally the only two buildings in this entire strip, in this entire neighborhood when we came to Canada in 1997. Like, nothing, that wasn't there, none of these buildings were there. This is the only building, the only two buildings. Kind of wild to think about how fast this construction started coming up. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to find the sign to where it says Humber Bay Bridge, but I think it's on the other side. All right. I have another video of doing a similar walk, except one that was not narrated, in the summer. And yeah, there's like people kayaking, sea-doing all the time here in the summer. People just running on this trail. So it's really lively. I'm actually surprised there aren't more people out right now. Look at this. That's cool. Skyline down there. I think it's tough to see with this camera, but look at this. You have these locks. I think this is the least number of locks I've ever seen on this bridge. Usually it's like full of locks, so I'm assuming people come and just take them down. I don't know why. I feel like people should keep them up because I like it. No character. Alright, let's keep walking. Recording for 12 minutes. I feel like before this I was already walking for probably another 15 or 20. So I'll record for another 15 minutes. And call it a day, but I'll just keep going. $1994. Interesting. So which side? Nope. Faked you out, whoever's watching. The 3 people that are watching this. The Humber River watershed, the largest river system in Toronto's region, covers 903 square kilometers. From its source in the Oak Ridges Moraine and Niagara Escarpment, the Humber flows through outstanding natural habitats from rural and urban landscapes of Lake Ontario. At least 12,000 years ago, the watershed was home to Aboriginal peoples. They were established an overland route along the river corridor in the Canadian interior. Later, European explorers and settlers used this route they call the Toronto Carrying Place Trail. Today, the Humber provides recreational, educational opportunities and a spiritual retreat for thousands of people of many different cultures. True. This plaque commemorates the designation of the Humber River as a Canadian heritage river and honors those people past and present and future who work to protect and enhance the Humber's heritage and recreational resources. Lovely. Let's go check out this view here. Man, I love living in Toronto, honestly. I love living in this part of the city. You know, like near the lake, Humber Bay, High Park, West End, Bloor West Village, like High Park, like I said, just said it, Swansea, Queen West, King West, all such incredible neighborhoods. I like the east end of the city as well, don't get me wrong, but I think because I grew up here, I just love this part of the city more than anything. said this before, but a bunch of my friends and I, so we all grew up in High Park and in Bloor West, and everybody ended up kind of scattering in and around the city, or some people left the province, some people left the country. And then as we got a little bit older, we all started kind of coming back and trickling back into the city, and trickling back specifically into High Park and the West End. So, you know, we're all from this neighborhood. We left and we ended up coming back, which is funny. But yeah, look at this view. Got the Muskoka chairs. Nice view of the city. Oh, there's a boat on the water still. That's awesome. Look at that view of the Humber Bay Bridge. That's nice. Okay, let's keep walking this way. I have to keep changing hands because my hands are literally starting to freeze. So I think it's negative 2 or 3 degrees right now, and it's always much colder near the lake at this time of year. But however, it's significantly warmer near the lake in like February or March, because the lake temperatures stay at around like whatever 0 degrees, just over. I might not know what I'm talking about whatsoever, but from what I've heard, it actually becomes a little bit warmer by the lake when overall temperatures are cold. Also, I'm not sure how well anybody can hear this, so if you can't hear me, I don't care, I'm posting it anyways. And then like literally all of that construction there, like all of those condos, other than a couple of buildings on the right side here, were built within the last like 10 to 15 years. So everything down here is very new. Funny, I don't think I've ever taken this long of a walk in the winter, and it's just funny to see how empty these trails are near the lake. I'll take the long way. Come read the sign. The Palace Pier. The vision of a grand lakefront amusement pier was conceived in the 1920s as a rival for the neighboring Sunnyside Pavilion. The pier was designed by Craig and Madeline with various structures of flamboyant Moroccan-style architecture, project 1,800 feet into Lake Ontario, determining with a steamboat landing. Financial difficulties in the early 1930s delayed the construction. Only the first phase of the redesigned amusement pier, 300 feet long, was opened June 10th, 1941, and it became popular as a major dance hall of the big band era during World War II and the post-war years. Wow. Became popular as a major dance hall for the big band era during the World War II and the post-war years. The pier was destroyed by a fire in 1963, and the site later redeveloped into condominiums and a public park. The base of this monument is one of the original concrete pier footings donated to the city of Etobicoke by the residents of the Palace Pier condominium. Wow. Interesting. Did not know that. Burned down in a fire. All right, let's keep walking. I'm not going to go for too much longer because my hands are freezing. But who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll man up a little bit, you know? Look at that boat. Those people must be just loving life / freezing their faces off down there. Which way? You know what? We'll go this way here. I'm saying we like there's someone else with me. But I think when you're filming something that's like, I'm thinking that this camera that I have in my hand is like with me for the ride. So I'm saying we, and I'm referring to the camera. Also, if I really think about this, it's a little bit crazy just to walk and talk into a camera for like 30 minutes. I don't know how Johnny Strides does it. Johnny Strides, if you see this video, shout out to you, man. The GOAT of Toronto walking tours. I wish I could do this every day. That would be amazing. Just bring a bunch of friends with you and go for walks all the time. That'd be awesome. Well, yeah, lots of these condos are really, honestly, really nice condos. And like I said, they're all newer, so built in the last 10 to 15 years. Other than a couple of these on the side here. Those are slightly older, I believe they're really early 2000s. By the way, Happy New Year to everybody. It's January 5th today. That guy just came out of nowhere. I want to see where he was. Oh, there's a little bit of snow that's starting to come down. You know what? Let's go to see these restaurants right here. For any of those that aren't from Toronto, let me just explain some stuff. So in terms of our weather, it gets really cold here in January, February, and even into March, like freezing. But in December, for the last few years, it's been extremely mild. So yesterday was January 4th, it was pretty cold. Today is very cold as well, but for the most part, it's been a really, really mild end of November and December. I'm just going to take a walk up here. Also, if you enjoy these videos, like these random walking tour videos, like I do, like I would literally sometimes I'll put, I hate to say, I'm going to sing his name for the third time, but sometimes I'll put on a Johnny Strides video in whatever neighborhood he is that day and just like do whatever I'm doing in the background with that going on in the background, because it's almost like calming in a sense. Come down here, show you a couple of restaurants, and call it a day for the filming at least. Getting sniffly. Okay, not to shamelessly plug something, which I'm going to do regardless, but I've sold plenty of units, plenty of condominiums in and around these neighborhoods here. So if you're thinking about buying something in Toronto, if you're thinking about buying something, you know, in and around the Humber Bay Shores, or, you know, close to High Park, Lower West Village, High Park, Roncy, Swansea, Queen West, King West, let me know, give me a shout. Because I've sold plenty of places around here, and honestly, like, these are all really great neighborhoods, which I love. And I live here myself. Like, I own a condo down here myself, so I wouldn't want to sell something to somebody that I didn't really love myself. But yeah, all of these Humber Bay Shores condos are all really nice. Some of them not as nice as others in terms of construction, but definitely send me a message if you're interested, and we could go through everything. One thing to keep note of anytime you're looking for a condo is make sure to look over the status certificate thoroughly and have a lawyer do it, just to make sure there's nothing wrong with, the condo corporation, just to make sure that there are no lawsuits pending against the condo corporation, that they have enough money in the reserve fund in case something happens, so you don't get hit with a special assessment. And the special assessment is just like a lump sum of money that every condo owner gets hit with if there's something major goes wrong in a building. Anyways, yeah, give me a shout if you're thinking about purchasing a condo in and around this neighborhood here, the West End, near the lake. So let me flip the camera here. So that's the Firkin on the bay. Lots of Firkins in Toronto. Firkin on the bay right there. They have a nice patio in the summer. You have a view of the city right there as well. This is always really busy in the summer. Lots of people having picnics as well. You can take a look at my other Humber Bay Shores video, and you'll see how busy this place is in the summer. But you have a bunch of cafes, restaurants, a couple of bars. There's a good Italian place down here. I always forget what it's called. Oh, La Vecchia. Yeah, sorry, it's La Vecchia right there. Great Italian food. They have a really good risotto. A really good chicken penne mushroom dish. I can't remember what it's called. It's just very good though. I love that boat. Again, I wish this camera could zoom in a little bit. But this is a DJI, like a handheld DJI, which I actually love. I'll put a link in the description of this video of this thing that I'm using because it's come in so handy over the years. Sushi spot right there as well. Crazy roll, I order from there sometimes, it's pretty good. Keep walking for a couple of more minutes and then jog home probably. Really nicely lit up, love that, yeah. Dog Park Bistro. Still a lot of these buildings under construction. As you can see, that one right there. And then also, to the left, there's a huge nature area. So if you haven't been to this part of the city, I suggest you come take a look and see if you like it, because maybe not in the winter when it's freezing cold, but in the summer or in the fall season. Beautiful colors around here as well. It's actually getting dark. It's 5:30, pitch black in the city. I'm gonna walk over to where these people are with the dogs, and then I will sign off. But yeah, just to bring it back to the 75 hard thing. It's only been 4 days, but it's definitely put me out of my comfort zone. And I suggest that for anybody that needs a little bit of a shift in mindset, to try it out. It's amazing. It's been great for these last 4 days. I think the water intake really helps a lot. So when you're drinking 3.8 gallons or 3.8 liters of water per day. We'll end it off right here. The Humber Bay butterfly habitat. So tons of butterflies here in the summer. And look at that. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm signing off right now. If you have any questions about anything 75 hard, real estate, whatever, send me a DM or comment on this video, or send me an email. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.